God. Did not sleep well last night. Booyaka, booyaka. Oh, God. Just one of those days. I think I've got it together, but you might never know because I hide it under my sweater. All right, let's go. Let's fuck this chicken. As they say in the biz.
Are you just trying to navigate adulthood in a world that still expects you to have it all figured out? Welcome to This Is 50 with your host, Travis Holmes.
I did not sleep well last night. I know, that's the first thing you want to hear, right? Oh, what's this guy going to talk about? No. Welcome to This Is 50, where we work through all my... I do this for therapy. So I don't explode and go on a 5-state killing spree. So welcome to join me along this trip. So last night, I didn't sleep very well last night. I'm pretty good at sleeping well. And when I say sleep well, with the help of, Mr. Melatonin and Mrs. Tylenol or Advil PMs, I sleep pretty good. We have a family coming over here in Thanksgiving. So this is, the last week of October, and I got to pick my days as far as like cleaning house and doing like house stuff and getting things done. We haven't had the family over in probably 3 years now. 3 years come up for Thanksgiving. She's got her nieces and her nieces' boyfriends and husbands and all that. And so we're going to have a house full of people. But when you don't have visitors all the time, you kind of neglect a lot of things. But so I'm taking, one day at a time and wiping down, picking this room and cleaning all this, wiping everything, moving stuff and dusting and all that stuff. And, we don't have a house cleaner or anything like that. And if they do, they charge you double for that. Usually a house cleaner will charge you for what? Kitchen, bathrooms, dusting a little bit of mopping, and then that's it. They're out the door. Thank you, $500 later. I don't think it's that much, but still. So my wife asked me to do a couple things on my off day yesterday. Well, half day. I did a half day yesterday. Working on the studio, working on the other podcasts and stuff. I said, yeah, what you need? She's like, if you separate the laundry, I will fold it and put it away. All right, I can do that. And then I'll be in the house so I can do a lot of other things. So basically what I do is I take the laundry and I pile up her shirts, her business shirts on this side, my shitty shirts on this side, my shitty pants, her business pants, just kind of separate the laundry. Mine and hers. I usually put my stuff away. Hers, I don't touch. I don't do the laundry either because I make stains on stuff. Why is this blouse all bleached on one side? But while in the process of doing that, we have in our house here, now, we broadcast just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, a little town called Marshville. We have a population of about 2,500 people. And the reason why I tell you that, I'll get into that here a little bit later on the show, is I voted this past Saturday. But we'll dive into that here in a little bit. Our house is not countrified, it's modern country. And the reason why I say that is all our trim, our molding around the floor, crown molding up top, is a teak wood. So if you don't take care of teak wood will dry out. And so you physically have to take teak oil, put it on a rag, and physically wipe the boards down, wipe everything down. So I spent a good 3 hours starting in our bathroom, the master bathroom. I don't care what they say about slavery and stuff. It's the master bathroom. It's my bathroom. I'm the master of this house. I don't own slaves or anything. This is my bathroom. So I started doing all the molding work, and all our doors are the 6-panel doors. And they're solid wood too, so wipe all the doors down. And you got to get that oil in there, and you're pushing it in there. It's like waxing a car. You ever waxed a car? If you haven't done it in a lot, it takes a lot of work. So then I start around the bedroom, and I do only the baseboards and stuff that you can see. I'm not going behind the fucking dresser. I'm not going behind the bed and all that stuff. But I'll do the main boards that you can see. And, of course, the door leading in and out of the bedroom is a solid wood door, 6-panel door. And I'm wiping that down and getting in all the creases and stuff. And I start my way down the hallway, and I start wiping everything down the hallway. And the doors, we have 3 doors in the hallway. One leading to the half bath, one leading to my wife's office, and another door that leads to, I don't know, to Narnia. So I'm wiping all those down, and that takes a good 3 hours to do. So when I say I didn't sleep well last night, when I laid in bed, the whole left side of my hip and body was not locked up, but it felt like there was a knife right in my hip. I know what you're thinking. Sciatica. Yeah, it is. I do. I have 2 crushed vertebrae on my back. Normally it's the lower one that they're like, this is really 50. No, this is 50. I'll get into the other stuff, but I just wanted to bring this up. We're going to get into a bunch of crazy stuff here that's happened in the last couple of weeks, or the last 7 days, actually. And because this is a weekly show. So I'm laying in bed, and it's just one of those nights where you just can't find the correct position to lay in bed. You know, you put the pillow between your legs, you put the pillow on top of your legs, you put the pillow on top of your head, you want to put it over your face, you just want to get some sleep. I usually go to bed around 9 o'clock, fell asleep finally at 3:30 in the morning, and then my wife's alarm goes off 2 hours later because she's got to get up and go ride, the show horse that we have. She has to go do her training session every Friday morning. She's got to be there at 7, so she's got to leave the house at, and blah, 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 blah. So I didn't sleep well last night. I didn't sleep well last night at all, and I'm paying for it now. I'm like literally right now, I can feel it. And it's been a while since I've said to myself, you need some sleep. And this fucking table. And, normally, how'd you sleep last night, babe? I always ask her. I slept pretty good. All right. I slept all right. Me, I'm like, yeah, sometimes I'll sleep good. Sometimes I'll have a good night's sleep. I was up all the way till 3 o'clock in the morning. Could not get comfortable. Could not get situated. So that's that's where I'm at today. That's why my eyes are a little crusty this morning, or this afternoon, actually. So, yeah. I don't know how much energy. I'm trying to bring the energy. Speaking of energy, someone knocked over my fucking mailbox. My fucking mailbox. Do me the decency. If you're going to knock on the door and say, hey, I knocked your mailbox over, fix my fucking mailbox. Don't fucking half-ass it, and I'll dive in that story when we come back. So stick around. I'll be right back if I don't fall asleep. So for the last couple weeks, I've been... Well, I say for the last couple of weeks. For a while now, you guys know I go on my morning walk. 4 miles. Got it down 4 miles. It takes me an hour and 3 minutes to an hour and 5 minutes to do my 4-mile walk. So I'm cooking. I'm booking. My little thing goes, 1 mile. Average speed, 3.4, whatever steps per, I don't know what it says, but I'm doing like a pace of 3.4. It takes me about 17 minutes, a little over 17 minutes to do 1 mile, and then it's, times 4. You can do the math on that. And then come back to the house and start doing my work and stuff. And my wife was home the other day, and I'm out in the barn, and we're feeding the horses and stuff. And I kind of spin around, and I kind of catch myself. She's like, "You all right?" I said, "Yeah, why?" She's like, "Well, look like you lost your balance." No, I'm fine. What she doesn't know, this has been happening a little bit more and more every week. Now, I haven't had an incident in the last 2 weeks, but it's been happening. And 2 days after she made that comment, I'm in the kitchen with her, and I'm always screwing around because we have the I know, baller teak hardwood or teak molding with solid white oak hardwood floors. And I run around like Tom Cruise doing a and I slide because the floors are nice and slick. And I always spin around. I always spin around in a circle in the kitchen. She's like, "You better stop. So one time I was standing in the kitchen, just standing there, And she's like, and we're cooking or something on the weekend. She's like, can you get me whatever spice out of the spice rack? So I just kind of do a little half spin and grab something out of the spice rack. And as I just normally turned around, I was like, whoa. She's like, are you okay? And I go, yeah, why? She's like, that's twice now I've seen you lose your balance. I'm like, it's nothing. I'm fine. I'm drunk. No, babe, it's 9 o'clock in the morning. I've seen you lose your balance already. I said, no, I'm fine. She's like, okay, just keeping an eye on you. Now, the reason why I bring this story up about me, losing my balance and not being able to stand up straight, there was a group of guys, bunch of friends growing up in our early 20s. And there was one guy, his name was Tom. We always made fun of him because no matter what he would do, he would trip, he would fall, he would tumble, stumble all the fucking time. All the time. No matter where we went, no matter where we're going, sober as a Jew, sober as a nun in church, and drunk at the same time. We could, on both ends of the spectrum, you can always count on Tom to fall, trip, stutter, whatever. We just laughed it off as Tom being just clumsy, right? So when you leave college, you kind of go about your separate ways, and Tom went his separate way and took a path in life, and he was doing all right. Unfortunately, Tom got into a car accident. Bad one, too. Like, he was in the hospital for a good time. And part of his process, his healing, recovery of him being in the hospital, that they had to do an MRI, make sure, his brains weren't, scrambled grits up there. When they scanned his brain, they found a tumor about the size of a hard-boiled egg in the back of his head. Operated on him. It was benign. Operated on him, pulled it out, sewed him back up. Tom's good. Come to find out, that tumor was hidden. I say hidden. He didn't know that he had it, and that's why for the 3 to 4 years that this group of 20-year-olds were hanging out, that's why Tom fell all the time. He would lose his balance, and there goes Tom laying on the ground again, and he'd like, oh guys, sorry, I don't know what's going on with me, I don't want to say anything. And when Tom turned 30, or not when he turned 30, but in his 30s, he got into a car accident and found out that he had a tumor on the base of his back of his neck here. So when my wife goes to me when I lose my balance, that's the first thing I think of. I don't know why. It's just the first thing I think of. That, oh, God, I have a tumor. I've got a tumor. I got a tumor. And so I'm like, I don't know. But I'm watching myself. To make sure I'm okay. And I haven't had any spells, quote-unquote spells, for a while. But I'm doing okay. There are some times when I'm doing my little 4-mile walk. It's, down half mile, up a half mile, 1 mile. I'll catch myself walking kind of squirrely. Little snake down the thing. And I try to connect cracks on the concrete to make myself walk a straight line. But I have caught myself walking kind of squirrely sometimes. So anyone out there on the 6 houses that are on that cul-de-sac that I walk on, at least I got someone out there looking at me just in case I hit the ground, fall over like Tom. Speaking of falling over, my mailbox was molested. It fell over. Sunday afternoon, my wife and I, she sits in the front TV room, watches her shows on the big TV. I sit in the back room, the entertainment room, the media room, her office, my PlayStation room, all that stuff. And I've got a 103-inch flat screen that mounts to the wall. That's my room. That's where I play my video games. I do all that's there. The front room, the TV room, only has only a 70-inch, whatever, 75-inch TV, only because the wall's not big enough to hold the TV plus all the stuff around it. I know what you're thinking. Where do you get all your money? And I'll tell you that too. So the doorbell rings. We have two accesses. We have a side door where the driveway runs up next to. So some people hit that, and that's where we have the Ring camera. Doo-doo-doo. You have someone at the side door. Doo-doo-doo. But then we have the front door that has the basic ding dong, bong bong, the traditional ringy dingy doorbell. So we can tell we're front and who's at what door. So we do sell eggs here on the property, and so I heard that ding dong. I jump up because my wife doesn't want to talk to people ever. No, I mean, not ever. She doesn't get into the people coming to the door type deal. I'd rather me go answer the door because we're out in the country and stuff, rather than her answer the door is where I was going. So she answers it, and she's like, hey, what's going on? And she's talking to a guy through the storm glass, the storm door there. And I said, everything all right? I said, how many eggs does he want? And I'll go out there and get him. She's like, no, he doesn't want any eggs. I said, why? What happened? So she says that this guy had a big long haul flatbed trailer hauler. He was moving hay from where he cut the hay to a horse farm that's about 5 miles up the road. He lost the one whole side, like the bales of hay. Lost the one whole side of his trailer. Wasn't, strapped down right, or half-ass strapped it down. And it fell off the side into the ditch across from our house, but took out our mailbox. Boosh. They're all scattered all over the thing. I'll post this. You can see the picture over on YouTube. And, for every podcast we do, we have a matching video over on YouTube. And you can see the full extended show over there. Give us a like. We'd appreciate it. If any of this connects to you, hopefully it does. Hopefully some of this will make sense to anyone that's getting into that age group. Anyway, so he's talking to me, and he's like going, yeah, my buddy, he went to deliver all the rest of the hay. He'll come back by and he'll pick up all the hay and stuff. And, but your mailbox is knocked over. I'm like, all right. I said, are you going to sit here and watch this hay? Because, this is like money on the side of the road in this side of town. He's like, nah, I'll be right back. I said, okay. I'm not watching. I'm going back inside playing. I'm on Call of Duty. I'm playing my games there. So the next morning, Monday comes around. This is Sunday afternoon. Monday comes around. I go out, walk my wife outside. We go down to feed. I start my walk, and I look. My mailbox is up. Oh, look at that. What a nice young man. Picked our mailbox up, stuck it back in the hole, and we're good to go. Now, when I say stuck it back in the hole, we didn't concrete it in. Because we do have, 18-wheelers that fly by us going, we're a main thoroughfare between two major towns. So we have big trucks that come by through, and I don't want that breaking off. And then I gotta buy a whole new post. I gotta concrete it back in. So we just kind of dig a hole, put it in the ground, pack shit around it, call it a day. So the hole, or the mailbox, the guy put it back up. I was like, great, what a nice young man. Then my dad comes to me, and he brings up an observation, and I'm going to take a quick little break. And what that observation is, I was just ready to go, what the fuck? All right, so stick around. I'll be right back. I got a call the other day. I get lots of calls. I get so many calls that I actually have it's not a podcast per se, but I don't know, how do you explain it? Basically, I take these phone calls and, from not scam artists. Well, that's what they are. They're scam artists. And I see how long I can keep them on the phone, and then eventually it all turns gay, Well, I'd rather suck your dick, and all this other, and the name of the podcast you can find on iHeartRadio and all that. It's called Bad Calls. We get the last word. And I just sit there and see how long I keep these people on the phone and how many weird and disgusting things I can say and their actual reactions. So if you want to check that out, it's called Bad Calls. But I did get a call the other day, and on my phone, the Samsung whatever 24 that I've got here from T-Mobile, they're not a sponsor, but we'd like them to be. It usually says verified number, and it was a missed call. Now I've been doing some research and putting some plugs out there, trying to get some other business coming into the studio here. And I thought this was a person that might have been calling me as far as want to talk to me about something. So I called him back. I'm like, hey, I got a missed call from this phone number. Woman goes, oh, no, I'm sorry. It's the wrong number. Now, my phone number has a lot of 4s and a lot of 8s and a lot of 0s in it. So if you want to do any of those combinations, you can figure out my phone number. So I'm usually 1 digit off from like a pawn store or a pawn shop. And I'm 1 digit off from someone's mother or something like that. And she realized that she had the wrong number. And I said, okay. Before I hung up, though, my instincts, my internal paternal instincts, I'm not a parent or anything, but me as a human being, my instincts was to say, after she said, no, I'm sorry, it's the wrong number, I said, okay, good. Are you okay, though? That's what I was worried about. Are you okay? Are you in a, blink once if you're if you're all right, blink two or twice if you need help. Because you always hear stories about that. You always hear stories about when someone orders a pizza or goes to the bar and we need an angel shot. Do you know what an angel shot is? If a girl goes to a bar, if you're a bartender, listen up. If the girl comes up to you and says, I need an angel shot, that means that there's someone in the bar that's harassing her and she does not feel comfortable. Same thing with ordering a pizza. There's a certain code or something that pizza places are supposed to know about or something. I don't know. It's a weird thing, but it's out there. So I thought this was one of those things where this person called me by accident, trying to reach her mother or trying to reach someone. In my mind, I'm playing this movie, the reels unfolding, and I'm like, I could save her. And I said, are you okay? I'm just checking on, are you okay? She's like, yeah, I'm fine. Just called the wrong number. I'm like, okay, well, enjoy the rest of your day type deal, and hung up and went about my day.
Hello?
Hi, I got a missed call from this number. Is everything okay?
It was the wrong number.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
You doing all right, though?
Mm-hmm.
All right, just checking on you. All right, thank you. Bye-bye. But when you get a wrong number, because it's rare for me, because I must get 20, 25 different phone calls a day, scammers, and that's cutting it low. I mean, that's lowballing the numbers that I get every day. But when I actually get a wrong number, when's the last time you got a wrong number on your someone calling you? Like physically, that means they have to dial doot 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 doot. It's not in their contacts. You physically have to dial someone to get a wrong number is very rare. So when I got this wrong number, I was like going, hey, let's find out what's going on. Maybe it's a new a new sales lead. No, it's this woman. And she's like, no, I'm fine. I'm just wrong number. Sorry. Okay, sorry. Hope you're okay. So my dad in the morning, his job in the morning, he needs something to do. He needs structure. Fires up the side-by-side into the garage, and because he can't walk the property. Fires it up, drives down to the chicken house, opens up the gate, the pen that encloses the whole entire house, so it keeps animals and stuff out, and then opens the doors of the chicken house, and then they all come running out all over the property, and they run all over the property. Then he goes down to the barn, cleans the barn out, blows it out a little bit, doesn't do a whole lot, he can't move. It's like me with my bad hip. Then he spins around and drives all the way back up the property, all the way past the house, and then down the driveway to go get the mail. And then then comes back to the garage, parks the side-by-side in there, and then brings the mail inside. I get up and I do my thing. And then we always meet in the kitchen, usually around, 9:30 after my walk. And he goes, your mailbox not right out there. Yeah, Dad, I know. It's in the ground, but it's really loose and shaky. And there's like rocks around the thing, and the actual mailbox is barely hanging on to the thing. I'm like, is it really? Uh-huh. I said, well, and I told him the story about the hay falling and stuff. I said, well, the guys probably picked it up and stuck it back in the hole and tried to help me out and put the mailbox, replace what they did, try to fix the errand that they made. Next day comes by and I do my little walk and stuff. And as I come back and I look at the mailbox, maybe a big truck, big 18-wheeler flew by. That mailbox is like leaned back. It's like leaning back. The pole's leaning back, and the mailbox mouth is open, staring up at the sun. And I go, well, shit. What the? I was pissed. You knocked, these hay guys, you knocked my goddamn mailbox over. You didn't have the decency to come back and at least bring like a post hole digger, try to dig it out and put it back in. You just kind of shimmied it into the makeshift hole that was there and then just kind of left it, stacked some rocks up around it so it'll hey, we fixed it. You know, it's a Band-Aid. No. The reason why I'm pissed off about that is because I remember when I was 18 years old and I was able to drive on my own and, you know, without parental supervision, my driver's license, I backed out of my friend's driveway and careened over their mailbox, broke it, snapped it off. They went out and bought a whole new mailbox post and everything. And I said, I will fix this and I will, you know, concrete it in. I will do this. I will make it right. I'll make you whole again. You buy all the stuff, I will put it in for you. And I did that. These guys, grown men, obviously have some kind of business. They're shoveling hay, you know, back and forth between where they cut the hay off their property, the acres and acres of property that's around them. They sell the hay, and they're bringing this huge, you know, hauling trailer that's probably got at least, I don't know, 200 bales of hay on it down to a horse farm, and they're making money doing that. You can't take the time and the effort just to sit there for 30 minutes and fix the fucking... You had the nerve to come up and, well, you had the decency to come up and knock on the door and say, hey, we knocked your mailbox over. All our hay's out there. We'll come back and pick it up. Picking up the hay and the mailbox? Are you going to put the mailbox back in? No. They barely stuck it in the ground. Hey-oh. And here's the worst part about the whole thing. This is the just to give you an idea. Well, you know, Travis, he might have been busy. He might have had done something else, you know, blah, 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 blah. No, this is the mentality of the guy who came and knocked on the door and said, we knocked all your shit over. And we lost our hay, and we're going to come pick it up. He says to me, hold on, I got to get ready for this one. Because he's been flying up and down this road for the last couple of weeks delivering hay. He goes, did you sell that truck? Now, I don't know if you guys remember, we were selling our little Nissan D21, 1992 D21 Nissan truck out there on the front yard. And it had a sticker price of $5,500 on it. It's fucking solid. It's a solid fucking truck. He goes, did you sell your truck? Because I pulled it out of the front yard because it's fall now here in North Carolina and leaves are getting all on it. And I was like, oh, well, I'll just clean it up and shine it up, shine it a little bit and stick it back out there on the road. I said, no, I still got it. It's back here. He goes over my wife because my wife is standing in between the two of us. As he's explaining, you know, he's knocked the thing over, the initial contact with us. How low will you go on that thing? I said, what do you mean how low I'll go on it? I said, it says $5,500. That's what I want for it. Yeah, well, you know, and I said, it doesn't leak. It doesn't do this. You know, it's solid. It's this and this. And he goes, yeah, I'm just asking for a friend. I'm not looking for anything right now. So in the back of my mind, that little mustard seed sits there. How low will you go on that? And then fast forward to Monday. My dad goes, the mailbox is fucked up. Tuesday, it's fucking mailbox mouth open, looking straight at the sky. And I'm thinking to myself, these fuckers didn't even put the mailbox back in. But yet you had the audacity on Sunday, when you knocked the thing over, to ask me how low I would go on my fucking truck. When you didn't even sit inside the truck to see, you didn't even ask me to go look at it. You didn't even ask me to check it out. You didn't even want to look at it. You didn't even, just right out of the door. Hey, how low will you go on that? Dude, put some effort in. Put some kind of effort into being a human. Being, you know, hey, you still have that red truck? Yeah. I know we knocked your hay and stuff over. Can I go look at that truck? Yeah, sure. I'll fire it up. You can drive it around in our little circle around the property. You can drive that. We got a big roundabout circle so you can get to the barn and to the chicken houses and all at the same time. Yeah, I'll fire it up. You can drive it around and then go, then go, how low will you go on this? And then that's when I say, you know, I'll go $5,300. But when you just sit there and go, yeah, I destroyed your whole entire property out front of your house. You're not going to be able to get mail or bills or anything like that. How low will you go on that truck that you had sitting on the front yard that's not there anymore, and I can't see it with my eyes or anything like that? How low can you go on that? Hey, man, shut the fuck up. Tuesday, I was so mad when I saw the mailbox all fucked up still. Fuck you. Don't come back. You know what? Now it's $5,800. How about that? It's $5,800 now. Fucking jackass. Mama's boy something. I don't know. He's just pissed me off. You know what else has pissed me off? Where I make all my millions. Most of them. Only my first 2 million. There's a company called Fiverr. I don't know if you're familiar with them. I'm kind of pissed off at them. And I'll dive into... I didn't know this was happening because I was on one side of the bill. Now I'm on the other side of the bill. And I didn't know this was happening. I think it's wrong. And I'll dive into what that is. So stick around. I'll be right back. Can I just say, I'm going out there right now. Can I just say that I think, where's he going with this? Oh God, where's he going? I think tater tots are amazing. I do. I think the steak and shake fries. You ever read it in the steak and shake fries? They're potato fries. Of course, they're potato fries. The little stringy ones, the little stick guys. Love those. Love tater tots. Outside of that, maybe McDonald's is close 3, but I don't go to McDonald's. I actually don't go to Steak and Shake. We don't have Steak and Shakes around here. And we broadcast just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, a little town called Marshville. Is there a Steak and Shake where you live? We'd love to hear from you if you do that. And and I'm still not on social media. Well, the Meta. I'm on everything else. TikTok, YouTube, YouTube and all that. Make sure you give us a thumbs up over there. We'd appreciate it. But I was sitting there the other day having lunch, and I made some tater tots. And I looked at them, and I go, oh, man, can I eat all these? Yes, I can. But when you make fries, it's always a handful of fries, right? If you make them like at home, like frozen, it's always a handful of fries, and they're all different sizes. And you put it in we do the air fryer. We put them in the air fryer, and you look at them, you're like going, oh man, I think I can eat more. And you grab another, just a little sprinkle, and throw some more in there. Tater tots, I can actually go, I'll have 22 tater tots. My wife's like, 22? Yeah, 20. If I have 23, it's a little bit too much. If I have less than 22, I'm going to want more. Put 22 tater tots in there, and that's perfect for me. Well, then she started thinking, well, how many do I want to have? I don't know. But tater tots, I think it's portion control, if you think about it. Because French fries, I mean, if you're watching this here on the camera on YouTube, some are this big, some are this big, some are this big. You can pile them up together. When I eat French fries, I know it's you guys might do it too. I always grab like 2 or 3 at a time. I always dump them out first of all. If I go to a fast food place, which is rare, dump them out, and then I'll grab 2 or 3 that are all the same size. And then I'll dip them in my mustard and eat them that way. I know mustard. Yes, I do. A little bit of ketchup, lots of mustard. Lower calories in the mustard. Tater tots, they're just one barrel shape. That's all they are. They've never gotten any bigger. They've never gotten any smaller. You go to tater tots, there is a designated dimension for tater tot. And I'll grab 2 at a time. Dunk, dunk, dunk. Boop. Right in my mouth, like a chipmunk. Grab 2 more. And then when I hit, number 19 and 20 out of the 22, I'm like going, I think I'm getting full. And then I'll grab those last 2 and go, oh, perfect. This is the cap. Put it in my mouth and I'm done. So I think tater tots, if you're a business owner and you want to, cut down prices, I don't know. I don't run a business. I don't run a restaurant, so I don't know what that is. But tater tots, manna from heaven. So there's a company out there based overseas, It's a freelance company. I've worked for freelance companies for a long time. I've done like Thumbtack, I've done TaskRabbit, I've done all these other things to do because I have a studio here. I can do voiceover work, I can do editing, I can do, whatever you need me to do. If you need me to sit here and go, if you're watching this on YouTube, if you need something done, I put a price on it and I put a bid in there and I can get it done. One of the things that I do as well is because we have so many people out there that listen and follow, and which I appreciate each and every one of you on the 4 different podcasts that I do. This being one, and the other 2, if you wait 1 sec, you'll see it behind me here. These guys. I do all those. There's a lot of people out there that have a product. They have a business. They have a song. They're an artist. And they can't get their stuff played on regular radio. There's a whole lot of jumps and humps and stuff that you have to go through to get that. So the way they get around is they advertise on a podcast. Now, depending on which podcast that you want to advertise on, it can range anywhere from from $100 for a show on up to $400 to $500 per show. Depending on, how much you want to spend and what your budget is and how many shows you want to do and yada, yada, yada. So I get about 30% of my income comes through Fiverr. The rest of it comes through affiliates and outside sponsorships as well. The reason why I'm telling you this is because for the longest time, I was the seller on Fiverr. There was something that I've taken over with AI and stuff. I've had to go in and become a buyer on Fiverr. I said, hey, I need this done. Can you tweak this? And at the time, I was getting into the AI stuff, and these people had more grasp of it than I do. And I said, fine, no problem. I'll pay you whatever it needs to be paid and blah, blah, blah. So that's fine. That's great. So when I'm selling on Fiverr, when the customer buys something, they have a chance to rate me, 5 stars, 4 stars, just like any of those, gig economy type stuff. So they'll put, great working with him. Thank you very much, Travis, blah, 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 5 stars, 5 stars. So, when people look at your stuff, they go, okay, this guy gets 5 stars all the time. So he must be really, really good at what he does. On the flip side of that, when you buy something from Fiverr, like I was buying I was trying to get a HTML code written. Now, I know how to do it now with ChatGPT, but I needed some HTML code written. So I asked this guy, hey, this is what I'm looking for. Can you do this and all that? And he's like, yeah, it'll be, X amount of dollars. I'm like, fine, no problem. You pay it, click, click, click. It gives you like 2 days to get back to you. And then 2 days, he gives you the code and everything's ready to go. You plug it in wherever you need to go, and you make sure that it works. It works just fine. So you go, okay, I approve your order. And then Fiverr goes, rank the guy that you just bought this stuff from. And out of 1 to 5 stars, you give him 5 stars. He did a great job. And you put a little, thank you very much for your help, blah, blah, blah. See you next time. Great. Transaction's done. What I hate, and it's very, very sinistery, if that's a word, 2 or 3 days go by after you purchase this guy who made this HTML code for you. Fiverr will ask you, okay, how did you really feel about the guy that you bought this code from? I'm like, I'm reading the emails, and this has happened over and over because I'm trying to rework something. So I've had to buy, HTML code. I'm doing all this behind the scenes stuff here. So I've had to purchase like 10 or 15 times. I'm like, what do you mean? How do I normally feel? How do I feel about this? On a scale of, would you say that this was a good deal? Was this not a bad, or whatever it was? They wanted me to go behind. I said, go behind the guy's back. And I'm thinking to myself, I just gave the guy fucking 5 stars. That should tell you exactly this guy does his work. Then the Fiverr, the company, the website will come back to me and go, hey, tell us how you really felt about it. Tell us what you really mean. Would you really do it again? Would you really do it again? How would you really rate this guy? And I go, well, how fucked up is that? What do you think I'm lying? What do you think I'm doing something? So the reason why I'm upset is because on my side, I didn't know this was going on. On my side, when I'm selling something, and I've been selling, for the last, I don't know, 8 years or something like that. I've done over, 500-600 different orders and things like that. Are they doing that with me? I guess they have to. That's stupid. That's shady. That makes you feel like they don't believe that the rating that you gave the person that you're buying the thing from is legit. Now I can dive into this company is out of the Middle East. It was founded in the Middle East. And for the most part, Middle Eastern people, one-on-one, face-to-face, if you were to talk to them and they go, how much is 1 + 1? You go 2. And they go, They don't believe you. It's something in their nature. It's something about them. They don't believe you when you tell them the answer that they're already asking for. So I just think it's kind of foul because it says you can be anonymous. The buyer will never, or the seller will never know that you've answered this question this way. We just want it for our own information. I already gave it to you. I already said 5 stars. I said, great working with you. See you next time. That's all you need. I don't need this behind the scenes, sneaky, cloak and dagger. Hey, was he really that good? Was he, because, no, I don't know. I already said it. Boom. It's right there. I know. I'm tech talk. I've already lost the other third of the audience, but that's what happened. I went to vote this past Saturday. Yep. Voted in my little town, and I'll dive into that little story when we come back and actually what happened. So stick around. I'll be right back. So I don't know if you remember Matt Cochran. He helped me host the show here for a while. If you go back to the archives, the show started with a gentleman by the name of Shane McManus. And we started the show together. He lasted maybe 8 months, 9 months, somewhere around there. He's got I don't want to say terminally ill daughter, but he's got a daughter that's on life support. And instead of keeping her in the hospital, she's at home. So he's the RN nurse. He's the pick her up, change this, do that. So it was just getting too much for him. So he had to back out. During that process, there was a gentleman by the name of Matt Cochran jumped in there and said, hey, if you need a guest co-host for a while on the This Is 50 show, I'll be, I can fill in for you. And the funny part was Matt Cochran was doing a true crime story podcast, and he actually found me through the Fiverr. He wanted to advertise his stuff on one of my other shows, and we became good friends, and he was on the show. Unfortunately, I didn't really dive too much into his background, and unfortunately, he has some issues and stuff that he was dealing with, unbeknownst to myself. Only lasted, I think, like 4 shows on the This Is 50 show. And we had some conversations, and basically he apologized. He needs to get his shit together. And I say shit together. He had some abuse issues, substance abuse issues. He's doing good now, and I just wanted to bring that up. He's doing really, really good now. He's got a show. It's a video podcast. It's called The Vet File. So if you're a veteran or know any veterans out there, they talk about a lot of the stuff outside of once you get discharged, and all the stuff that you go through when you're I'm not military, so I don't know, when you're serving and then when you've been released. So I just wanted to bring that up. If you're interested in, if you're a vet or anything like that, check them out. It's called The Vet Files. And the other reason why I bring that up is there was a gentleman I used to work with many years ago. Kind of the same situation, had some substance abuse problems. Not to air his dirty laundry or anything, but, spade is a spade. Some substance abuse issues, and was also a military veteran. So I kind of reached out to him and reached out to Matt, and I said, hey, Matt, I've got this guy, basically kind of the same boat you were in, a different level. You guys had the same thing, different branches of the military, but you guys are going through the same thing. One being an ex-military and also having substance abuse problems. So connected them together, and their show, the first show that the two of them are going to get together on, I think is this coming weekend. And today's Friday the 25th. So check them out. Give them a thumbs up. If you heard this and you went over there, just tell them that Travis sent you. They get a kick out of that, both of them, because they're both good guys. I've hung out with Ken for a long time. Matt, talked to him a bunch of times on the phone. He's a real cool guy. We appreciate him, or I appreciate him for who he is and what he does. So check him out over there as well. Went to vote this past Saturday. Early voting started on Thursday, and I told my wife I'm not waiting in, long lines for voting, and so I said we're going to vote early. She's like, all right, no problem. Dad? Huh? Dad? Huh? We're going to go vote this Saturday. Oh, where are we going to vote? And in the mail somewhere, I put it up on the refrigerator, is the new voting location. So it's a little yellow card. If you're watching this here on the YouTube video, little yellow card. Dad, find out where that's at. He just sits in front of his computer all day. He's got a big monitor, a little bit bigger than mine. I got a 32. I think he's got a 36. And he just sits there and just watches TV shows on that monitor all day long. Do some research. Find out where they're at, where they're located, what the hours are. Within 30 minutes, he comes back. They're located at, 2 miles, 3 miles up the road, and they're open from 8 to 5 on Saturday, 1 to 5 on Sunday. I said, great. We'll make a day of this. We'll get up early. We'll go vote. And I say early, like get there when the doors open at 8 o'clock. And then we'll go out, the three of us, my wife, myself, and my dad, go out and have breakfast together. Oh, wow. Where are we going? Does it matter? No. Why are you asking? Oh, just as long as they have grits and eggs and sausage, I don't care. So we went to vote. And here's the stupid part. I'll let you figure out what the stupid part is. So we pull up and we got my, brand new Chevy Silverado 2500 series high country, and it's a long truck. And we pull into the parking lot. The voting booth or voting area is our local library here in the Marshville town. Now, I told you we have a population of 2,500 people. Keep that in mind. There's a limit on resources there in the library. It's a small place. It's about the size of 2 Wendy's or 2 Chick-fil-A's. If you put them together, that's all about the size of the library is. So we pull up. I put the handicap thing in the window there because my dad needs to get out, needs to be close to the curb and stuff. And we walk in, and big signs, follow this path. A big voting sign, follow this over here. And go inside, and what's your name? Here's what I don't understand. When we went in there, the first thing they asked me was, do you have a photo ID? I said, what do you need that for? Just to prove if this is your district. Okay. Pulled out my ID, go to lady number 1. Went to lady number 1. She looked at my driver's license and then did the whole, okay, what street do you live on? Like she's proofing it. And I'm sitting there and I told her everything, and she's like, okay. And she's filling out the thing and prints out the thing. A lot of things going on. Grab my stuff, go to the little makeshift, not secular little, I don't know. It's a TV tray with side windows on it, or side blockers on it. My dad does the same thing. I don't have my voter's registration card. All we need is a photo ID with an address on it. Hands him that. My wife does the same thing. Bing, bing, bing. We get out of there. And we all vote. Walked right in the door. Right in the front door. We got there like 8:15. They open up at 8. Walked right in. voted, great. And I'm standing there, and there's a guy that's in a, vest, like a crossing guard vest. He's the one kind of directing traffic, old guy. He's like 90. They got nothing else to do. And he goes, we're standing in the lobby of the library, and I said, so big turnout? You guys getting a good turnout and stuff? He goes, I don't want to make him sound like my dad, but he goes, yeah, we got the first day, 500 people, actually 583, but 583 people came through that door to come vote here. And I go, really? 583? Is that a lot? Oh, yeah, that's a lot for the first day. Now, keep in mind, our town's only got 2,500 people. The first day of early voting, a fifth of them have already showed up. Now, I don't know if that voting facility is for a larger area, like it encompasses, 8,000 people. I don't think so. I think that's I think that's for our town. So as we're walking, my dad, he can't step off the curb, right? So he's got to hold on to the truck and step off the curb, and then he gets in the back seat of the truck, and I got to kind of sit there and hold him as he gets into the truck because it's high. The step comes out, and he steps on it, and he gets in there. I said, Dad, if you go to fall, I swear to God, if you go to fall, I'm not going to help you. I'm not going to stop you. The only thing I'm going to do is slow you down before you hit the ground. All right? I'm just letting you know that. So don't count on me holding you up because my dad's a big guy. I'm a big guy. I'm 6'2". I'm 270 pounds. My dad at his peak was, 6'2", probably, 300 pounds. Now he's lost weight and stuff. I think he's around 250, 240. So you got two freaking running backs here. Not really, but I mean, still, I'm not sitting there, going to hip check my dad so he doesn't hit the concrete. No, I'm just going to slow him down. So as he gets in the car, and my wife gets in the car, I'm the polite gentleman. I shut my wife in. I shut my dad in. This little black lady comes up. Here we go. Little black lady comes up. Parking lot probably sits 10 cars. It's a library. It's our library. It's not a whole lot. On the ground, they've taken yellow tape and marked out like if they were going to have a line full of people. And they kind of sketched it out. They sketched the curb out, and they have big signs with arrows pointing, vote here, follow here, vote here. When you get out of your car, there's a thing that says voting this way, and it's got an arrow. And then it's got another arrow by the big door to walk in. It's got an arrow, vote here, and it's got an arrow. There's 2 doors to go in, or there's 2 doors, one to go in and then one to come out on separate sides of the building. Let's put it that way. Let me make sure I put that in, in the story. You walk in the 2 double doors to walk in, and then on the other side of the building are 2 double doors to walk out. But they're within eye shot of each other. Like you can see one, you can see the other one. This old black lady walking up as I'm pushing my dad into the car, in the truck. And I turn around and I go, how you doing? Is this where we vote? Yes. Oh, okay. Thank you. I said, just follow the tape lines. They'll take you right to where you need to vote. Okay, I've never been here before. This is new. I said, yeah, we've never been here either. This is our first time coming here. Okay. She walks up, and as I walk around the truck to get in the driver's seat, I step in the driver's seat, and I got the truck door open as I'm getting in. And I hear, they're closed. I said, what? She's like, they're closed. I'm like, I said, no. I said, ma'am, you're at the wrong door. I said, you see that big red sign over there? It's about 2 foot by 2 foot that says vote here and an arrow. You're at the exit door. It's right above. It says do not enter. The entrance is over there with a big red sign. Did you follow the tape? Oh, I didn't see it. Did you not hear me saying follow the tape? So she walked, thank you, honey, thank you. Southern black woman, older, probably 70. She walks in and she goes in and vote, and I shut the door. And I said to my wife, well, she's voting for Kamala. She's like, why do you say that? I said, well, first of all, she's a black woman. She's going to vote for another black woman. And then I said in the back of my mind, as long as Kamala voters are that smart, tongue in cheek, we're going to do okay. If that's the crowd that she brings out to vote for her, we're going to do all right. We're going to do okay. That was just a little tongue in cheek type. Oh my God, that's what happened. So I know. I shouldn't be that way, but when I say spade a spade, and I don't mean to say spade is a spade. Well, you know what I mean. All right, guys. Thank you for listening to me work all this stuff out, all this stuff that goes on in my mind. All right, guys. On that note, okay. See you. Bye.